This is a short review video for the Master Tailgaters 10-inch LCD rearview mirror with built-in DVR. The rearview mirror comes with a few accessories: the camera, the mirror, and a spare mount in case your mount does not match, and the cabling to install it. It's very close to a standard rearview mirror. You actually had a automatic dimming rearview mirror. For this test, I just installed the camera on the back third brake light of my truck. Here you can actually see it installed. The cable is not quite in its final position yet. It does not have the little cable guide, but you can see the front and rear cameras. The front camera, unfortunately, for this recorded at 1280 by 1280, where the rear did the full 1080p. So they're looking at the firmware version that I have to update that. But that would only come into effect if you're actually using it for footage that you're going to post, for example, like this. The rest of the time it's plenty high resolution to see what's going on in the case of an accident. Unfortunately, the resolution is just a little bit too low to be able to actually see license plate numbers and things like that from the viewpoints that I have. If you had an SUV and front license plates, you might be able to see a little bit better. But with the length of the hood from my truck and the rear, no vehicles can really get close enough for you to get a better view of the license plate. So looking at the different footage here, the day and the night footage does pretty well. I did notice at night, if it gets too dark, right before the last light goes out of view on the rear camera, there is some digital noise that shows up. And that noise shows up right when the last light is there, and then when it disappears. This is just an example of trying to read a license plate. So besides the resolution, which could be a little better, and this might be because of the 1280 by 1280 resolution that it's saving rather than the full 1080p. If they can get the firmware updated to correct that, that might fix the front resolution. Overall, the main reason that we're looking for something like these is to have a nice security or protection. Luckily, nothing actually happened here, but the guy in front of me that you can see swerving all over the road was on his phone this whole time. So, conveniently, during the review of this, I've actually seen 3 accidents, and this guy on his phone severely swerving all over the place, causing the person in the left lane to have to hit their brakes a few times to make sure they were not going to hit him. There was another one. And so we followed this guy just because we were going in the same direction. And you'll see shortly that he definitely was on his phone. Overall, for the review, the camera works great. It's basically the same resolution as a factory digital mirror option, but it does have the capability of recording built in, which is nice to have it all in one. The wiring was simple, and as long as you can get to power, my truck had power in the overhead console, both switched and unswitched power with a nice ground. So I was able to use the power there to do that. And so I didn't have to run anything down to my fuse blocks. So here you can definitely see that he's just staring at his phone. And he's crooked in the lane and not up to the line. So definitely not aware of what's going on around him. So that's a good example of why to have this. If something did come of that event, we would have footage showing what he was doing and whoever was actually at fault of the situation. So overall, I think it does really well.